What's up, boys? Today we're going to be speedrunning the Crystal Caverns again with the Heavy Gunner to see how that compares with the earlier Interrogator run. So we're going to be going through the levels as quickly as possible, nuking the boss down instantly. We're probably going to end up leaving a lot of resources behind, and sometimes probably not even completing all the quests. Let's go a bit of armor to add some safety, since with this playstyle we definitely will be taking some hits at some points to try and grab everything possible in the limited time we have. One thing about the Heavy Gunner is that I don't think his weapons that he can add are super good without a lot of investment. You're looking at a lot of the Interrogator's weapons that are good at debuffing. Paint Job might actually be pretty helpful here. Since we're going to be getting a lot less weapon levels, getting the overclocks a bit faster could be pretty helpful. So you're adding stuff like the flamethrower, the cryo cannon, the sludge pump, good debuffing stuff. Yeah, I don't know that any of these are great. If we can get some decent levels, the coil gun is pretty good. And it is my second weapon, so maybe we can do that. But if we don't get enough levels for that, I think it's going to end up being pretty weak. Yeah, you're mostly adding some of the Interrogator's elemental beams, which probably need some decent levels for potency upgrades and overclocks and stuff for them. Let's not take any of these, I think. XP would be good on a normal build, but probably not here. Big fire rates. These are pretty good. Honestly, let's go for the super early coupons to make my limited resources go a bit further here. Fire rate also doesn't work on the coil gun. We can get our first overclock here. High caliber rounds for more piercing and AoE. And then as soon as the elite comes out, I'm going to try and focus it down with the Thunderhead. We're missing a decent amount of Nitra, but the elite's almost here and the quest is done. So I might just want to AoE a bunch of stuff down to force him out now, I think. Some nice movement speed. Let's keep pumping the coil gun here. Get some big piercing shots with that, and then that should bring the elite nearly out here. More Thunderhead. Then we're going to try and line up all of the Thunderhead shots with the extra piercing when I can. Close to reload here, we'll take some kinetic damage. And it should go right for them now. And we can pierce through both. And then when it starts reloading, I'll try and reposition a bit. Yeah, the armor helps if I'm trying to maximize the damage on the shots for that as well. So having a bit of survivability is definitely helpful. We'll take the sludge pump for some damage amplify, and then potency's fine for that. Do a very quick sweep of XP and then head right for the escape pod. I think I will take some big paint jobs just to help us push the levels. That's kind of expensive for a level there. We'll get some early XP, a little bit of HP. Do I want luck here? I guess. And then I guess we can take double paint jobs for that. That's just not a very good overclock, so I guess I may as well. With the limited time we have, that could actually come in handy. So as a precise weapon, it's supposed to aim at the enemies with the most HP. If there are any different enemies that start spawning, we can actually try and target it. But if they're all the same, I'm not sure what it's aiming at. Maybe the closest one? we can go behind the gold here and then get some help from that. Big thunderhead, yep. Looks like nothing up there. These are pretty bad. Let's get some potency for that. Oh yeah, I can use the coil gun to help me out a bit with those. More Thunderhead. That might actually be pretty good since we're going to be very limited on crits, and it gets worse as you stack more since they're additive. So I think that should be pretty good here, even though I'm normally not a big fan of it on the 10 stage dives, since you'll get a lot more resources than the old dives would. But with how much we're skipping here, I think it could be pretty good actually. That'll work on all of the weapons we'll have here, although it's probably not great on the sludge pump. But the fire rate would only apply to the Thunderhead currently. Getting close to the elite, so let's grab the flower, and then I guess we'll go for these resources and then AoE stuff down to try and get them to pop out. That is a lot of paint job levels. 3 paint jobs, 1 small reload speed. Yeah, get some big AoE here, and that should spawn the elites now. We can go directly for those. We can save the detonators for the elites, that'll do them a bit faster as well. I think the Hurricane's actually one of the best ones here. Not a ton of synergy, but it has good AoE damage, and it has a lot of the same tags as the Thunderhead. We have a shellback, that's not great. Let's go ahead and grab the second overclock here. Some nice fire rate and reload speed. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get effective damage off onto the shellback until we reload with a Thunderhead. Blue reload there. Here's some good Thunderhead shots, try and get all of those out. Let's get some decent crit damage. Pop a detonator right as he's coming over here. I guess we probably will take that. Getting close to a second overclock. Try and follow him with a Thunderhead shots here. Let's go for some potency since that's close to an overclock. How's the crit stats? Let's get a bit of that. Decent Thunderhead, quick sweep of the XP, so we don't leave too much behind. We can get an overclock here, and +1 beams, double the damage currently. I think I will take a blue for the primary damage here. The coil gun is all paint chops, so it's probably not doing a ton of damage for me. Thunderhead, bit of mining speed, cheap level there.
Show me more.
assault beam stuff, not really ideal. Take a reload for that. Bit more XP.
I'm feeling lucky.
Thunderhead level, some global damage, and I guess we have enough for that.
Me best.
You have your objectives. Get it done, miner.
Two more levels and we get the huge fire rate boost for the Thunderhead, and that should absolutely delete elites. Combined with the piercing shots as well, it should be pretty good for AoE as long as we position it correctly.
Big swarm detected. Buggerman, get ready.
Big piercing, yep.
Exemplary work. You've achieved your objective. Too much crap in the way. Supplies can't land. Clear it out, miner.
Decent weapon range. Weapon box? I'm not sure if that's really going to pay off here. Diver's manual is very good. Whatever. I love weapon box. We can get the level 18 here, massive fire rate. We got the bulldog with fire. It's a little bit of extra damage, but doesn't synergize particularly well. And it adds the medium reload speed upgrade combined with the coil gun. Probably not great, but we can get a lot more damage from the multi-tool and the turbo encabulator artifacts now as well. Big piercing, sure. So that brings it up to 16.
The scavengers lit up like a Christmas tree. We have a swarm incoming.
We're getting close to the elite, so if I kill most of these, I can probably force it out now. Big proj damage. Oh, that's actually pretty helpful for the main weapon then. We can get a big reload for that. Sure. Fire rate, I guess. Thunderhead damage. XP or a small damage there, we'll go XP. Thunderhead damage or a blue reload, let's grab that. Set up for some overclocks later on. Line them up for the piercing shots. I'll take a decent mining speed. Another decent hurricane. Potency into an overclock, and we can grab +1 beams.
Stage 3 completed. Taking you to stage 4. You did good work, miner.
Cheap damage, some decent reload if I want that. Nah, sure.
Nothing for me here.
Reload will get an overclock on that. We can grab a lot of AoE or a lot of single target damage. Let's go for the AoE. I think we could use a little bit more help there. I can grab this and still reroll to look for Nitra, but I don't have a ton left anyways, so I guess I'll just grab that.
You've got work to do and quotas to meet. You have your objectives.
weapon range or a paint job. Let's go here and try to maximize the overclocks, I think.
Swing's heading your way. Load up.
Decent crits, that works on 3, that's a bit more global.
The scavengers lit up a Christmas tree. There's a swarm coming. The record time. Got a blocked landing site for the supply pod. Get it cleared out, miner. The scavengers lit up a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming. LZ cleared. Supplies inbound.
Decent weapon range, sure. Okay, we got the encabulator to go with the 5th weapon. We can get a lot of damage and reload. Mining speed will suffer, but the reload speed will help a bit with that. Oops, didn't see that little spit globule. Big crit damage. Oh, we have the elites. Gotta focus them down now. I don't see the... Oh, there we go. Shell back up there. Need to get a decent angle on that to actually shoot him with. There we go. One volley almost does it.
Satisfied. The drop bomb is arriving. Get moving. It won't hang around.
Sure.
Stage 4 completed.
Some big survivability increases will allow me to play a bit riskier and also to aim my shots a bit better sometimes. We can take an overclock there. That's not terrible, but I think I'm just gonna go for the damage.
Favorite type of clock. Gonna roll the dice on this one.
Big thunderhead, sure. We'll take a bit
You
of
don't see these
crits.
every day. Show me more.
Then I guess a paint job. We're probably fine on piercing with that at 16.
Gonna paint my nails to match it.
This is the big one, miner. Find and destroy the cocoons and take out that dreadnought.
So I guess we'll actually try and destroy all the eggs that I see on the mini-map as I'm looking for resources. And actually see if we can break the boss out early this time. With an elite, we always know where the coil gun shots are going to go, so it makes it easy to mine with them. Big reload for the coil gun and the bulldog. I don't think it's that helpful, but it'll help mine at least, since we are pretty slow in that area.
Objective completed. Excellent job. Supply pod ready for insertion. The drop point is too rocky, so please clear it out.
Let's go for the overclocks to help with the turbo encabulator.
What a shot!
Decent piercing that works on there and there. I don't know if that really does a lot for me here. Honestly, let's go for the super nice survivability, I think. Got the twin, so we'll have to go for the piercing shots with lining them up. And we also want to try and pull them through the acid pools from the sludge pump if possible, for the damage amplify, but that might be kind of hard to do. Potency isn't amazing, but oh well. A bit more pickup since we're going to be leaving a lot of XP behind.
Arriving. Get moving. It won't hang around. You've proven that one dwarf can do the work of four if we just give you enough guns. Management is pleased.
Another paint job? We could get the huge beams for that, and reload is the stat I want the most for it.
Overclock says it's time to
Probably
kill.
don't need mining speed too much now.
More options.
Bit of crits. Don't care too much about the other stuff. Fire rate for the main weapon. Sure.
Raring to
Cheap
try
reload
this out.
there.
Let me try again.
Bit more
We don't
fire
see
rate.
these every day. More options.
Don't really have a lot of great stuff for gold. Oh well.
You know the drill, miner. Fulfill your objectives. Let's get out of here.
Honestly, I probably don't really even want to go for the loot bugs with how low my personal mining speed is. We can get the resources around the map pretty quickly with the coil gun, but nothing to really help with those.
Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly. We've got too much clutter for this fly pod to land. Do something.
Paint job, sure.
Gorgeous gun for a gorgeous tool.
Big swarm detected. Lock 'em and get ready.
Big heavy reload for 3 weapons, not bad. Multi-tool to go with the weapon box? Yup, that brings us from 105 up to 160%, not bad.
Big swarm detected. Lock 'em and get ready.
So yeah, I didn't love the Bulldog off of the weapon box, but we did quickly get the Encabulator and the multi-tool, so it actually did pay off anyways. And we had to have a good mining weapon that scales well with reload speed on top of that. So I think we had to get pretty lucky for that to be worth it. Decent hurricane damage. Big fire rate, sure.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
Cheap level there. We can take a decent fire rate, but I'm pretty low in nitra. I'll take a decent movement. Paint job.
More options.
Fire rates. That works on 5, that works on 3. We can get both.
There's work to be done. Have an atom miner.
We do need to have bugs out to actually mine at a decent pace, though. Here we go. Decent piercing.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly. The swarm is heading your way. Load up.
I'm not sure what it's shooting at over there. It should be aiming at the red mini elite there. Looked like it was aiming at the flyer with almost no HP left. We'll take a level right next to the overclock for that. Mocap is okay. I don't have a ton of resources, so I might just go with that and try to take a bit of damage so that we have a bit of extra. But maybe not that much is a good idea. But we should have a ton of damage now, at least. We're about to hit stage 8, but we do have a magnet, so maybe that'll be worth it. Massive crit damage. Let's see if we can find something a bit cheaper for that. I'll take a global damage. We've been kind of weak on the gold upgrades here. Big crit chance. Well, not anymore.
Gonna roll the dice on this
cheap
one.
level for that. Take the clip size, finish that off.
Type of clock.
We will take the 2 parallel bullets, I think. Should be pretty close.
I'm clocking it to 11.
We don't have a whole lot left. I can probably do something better than that with Nitra a bit later on.
There's beasties to shoot and work to be done. Get to it, miner.
My mining speed is going to be even slower, but my reload speed and damage is even better. I thought the coil gun wouldn't be very good here because it would take a while to get going, but we got so many paint jobs on it. The overclocks came pretty quickly, and then we also got the weapon box stuff for a ton of extra reload speed, even though it didn't even get that many stats on the weapon itself. Let's go fire rate probably. Big reloads. Sure. We could still use levels on that. We should be able to bring the elites pretty close after AoEing down most of this. So we'll grab the artifact fire rate for just those 2 weapons. I think the gold tipped will probably be better here. It's probably pretty close, but no downside to that. And it works on more weapons. Yeah, we should have the elites out here pretty quickly. We have a shellback over there, try and line up the thunderhead shots on them, get them out of the way, then the other 2 should be pretty easy. We'll take an overclock here, don't want to lower the potency, so lifetime it is. Can't see the green arrows under the acid clouds. I think with the kind of weird selection of weapons we have, we don't really want to be spending gold unless there's like a fully global upgrade, like crit chance is fine, but specific stuff like beam or projectile, probably not worth it now. Take a paint job there, paint job there. I think I'll pass on heavy reload. I guess we'll probably just grab that and then hold a bit of gold for the gold tipped.
Get to work. There's aliens to be killed and gold to be mined.
I'm so ready to quit this job and move on.
Another thunderhead. energy bars, that would be 144 HP. It will be kind of squishy, but that's fantastic damage for a run like this.
The sky just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
Should be able to do some AoE here to force the elites out now. We'll take weapon range over damage. 2 flyers and a slasher. Big reload for the Thunderhead. We can try to group them up a bit for piercing and splash damage. Big damage finishes that off. We can grab a massive clip size increase. Paint job brings that pretty close. Global damage, I'm not sure if that's worth it.
Nothing for me here. Let's try again.
How's the crit chance and damage looking? 116, 413. Probably pretty good on that front. Kinetic for 3 weapons, that's not bad. Grab a little bit of that. Maybe 1 reroll and then hold the rest. Definitely don't want XP.
This is the big one, Miner. Find and destroy the cocoons and
So we probably just want to break all the eggs out here as soon as possible and go for the boss. I have plenty of damage with the insane artifacts I have. Gold is pretty good damage though, if we can get that quickly. Classic messed up audio from the Hurricane rocket launcher. We have 1 more egg somewhere. I think that's the Dreadnought, right? Yeah. Oh, it's vulnerable. Okay. Oh, we can just blast him then. Big global damage. Easy peasy. Don't even need the artifacts. I think we got really lucky with the artifacts. We got an early weapon box that wasn't super useful, but then we instantly got a turbo encabulator for massive damage and reload. Pretty quickly got the multi-tool for some reload after that. Squinties are actually pretty solid when you're not getting a ton of resources and your crit stats aren't that high. Early coupons for more buying power since we're pretty resource limited. Could have used the mocap a bit better, but it did help at 1 point. Gold tips and energy bars for some huge global damage. Got that going pretty quickly with all of the paint jobs super early on. And the Thunderhead was a star there with massive piercing up to 16. Bunch of fire rate and reload speed, and then we had the sludge pump for some decent damage amplify. Needed 1 more level for the maximum value on the turbo encabulator, but you are pretty limited on resources and weapon levels on a speedrun, so couldn't quite grab that in the end. So we had 27:14 game time. Under half an hour for 10 stages, 70 million on the Thunderhead, 43 on the coil gun, even though it had over half its levels from the paint job. That's pretty insane. Oh, I guess that's still bugged. We had 108 kinetic, and those two alone would be more than that. And then we have the rocket launcher as well, so it's probably quite a bit lower than that actually. So those two would be 92. So I guess that was probably 16 million actual damage then, when you subtract them from that. We had about 2 million acid dot from that, about 800,000 fire dot from that. Not too bad. I think we did get very lucky with the artifacts there, some pretty heavy damage. And we got pretty lucky with the paint jobs into the mining on the coil gun as well. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.